Okay, I'll explain cookies very clearly to you. See here, I'll open my browser. Google Chrome I'm opening, and I will type gmail.com. See what is happening. If I type gmail.com, see my username and password automatically came here, right? Actually, when I type gmail.com, the request went to the server, Google server. The response came as this page. So in the response, my server is automatically populating my user ID and password so that I can directly type sign in, right? So I feel that as if this Google server is remembering my username and password, because once I gave a request, server has sent a response. In the response, this page came. The output of the response is this page. In that, automatically my username is there, username and password is there. So I feel by saying this, I feel that server is remembering me, remembering my username and password. See, there is an option called stay signed in. Okay, there is an option of. Once you see this output, I feel that Google server is remembering my username and password. But is Google remembering my username and password really? The answer is no. See, did you see movie Gajni? Yeah. So our server is the Gajni. It does not remember. It also has short-term memory loss. If I send a request now, it will remember me until I give response. Once I get the response, it will forget whatever I have sent. Like suppose if I take username and password for the first time, my browser will send this as request parameters. Server will receive it. But once the response comes back, it will forget my username and password. So when it is Gajni, it is having short-term memory loss. How can I expect that Google server is remembering my username and password? Tell me, in Gajni movie, if the hero wants to remember somebody, what he will do? Photos, right? So suppose if I want to remember, suppose if I am the okay, I want to remember him. What I'll do is I'll take 2 photographs. Okay, the tattoo is not option. Photograph, I'll take 2 photographs. 1 photograph I'll give it to him, and 1 photograph I'll take, and I'll write all the information. He is Mr. Nikesh Kumar, and he is from Accenture. He is so and so. So I'll write at the back of the photo. I'll keep the photo in my pocket. So I'll be having a lot of photos with me. So whenever he meets me tomorrow again, next time, what he has to do, if he wants to remember, if he wants me to remember, what he has to do? He has to show the photo. Then I'll take the photo. Then I'll refer, am I having this photo? I'll turn it back. Oh, you are Mr. Nikesh, welcome. You are from Accenture, I remember. So even if you meet me after 1 month, it's like this. Okay, so same. Our server also is the same exactly. What the server will do is, if the server wants to remember you, like if I click on stay signed in option, what the browser will send this username and password as request parameters. What the server will do is, it will create something called as a cookie and add that as a response header. Cookie is nothing but a response header. As I told, in HTML, response headers are there, request headers are there, right? We already wrote a program to print all the request headers. Yes. Response also has some headers. Cookie is nothing but a request header as well as response header, both request header as well as response header. So now what the server will do is, it will create 1 cookie. Every cookie will be having a name and a value, right? It will create 1 cookie called username cookie, and value is my username, whatever it has got. And it will create another cookie called password cookie. Cookie has some name and a value. Value is nothing but my password, right? So server, what it will do, it will add these cookies as part of response and then send back to the client. Like Gajni takes 2 photographs and gives 1 photograph. So what the server will do? Server will create cookies with these values and send it back to the client, just like Gajni gives a photograph to you, right? Now, when our browser is making a second request, browser wants the server to identify. So what the browser has to do? Browser has to send the cookies as part of request header now. Right. These cookies what server has sent during earlier request. Now this browser has to send again the same cookies to the server as part of request now. As part of request headers now. So the server will check whether there are any cookies. Yeah, it finds the cookie. You will get the value of cookie. And whenever it is sending dispatch as response, this is input type is equals to text, right? Value is equals to my ID, whatever it got the value from the cookie. And this is the value from another cookie password, right? Then this page is sent as response. I am able to see my username and password. I am able to feel that the server is remembering me. Actually, server is not remembering me. Browser is sending cookie, username cookie and password cookie. Server is extracting the value from those cookies and populating this, sending the page as response. The page is coming up with my username and password. Now what I want to do is I want to write a similar program. I want to write a login page where first time I will submit username and password. Second time onwards, whenever I come to the same page again, the username and password should be automatically populated. So I want to do that. Okay. So just see for some time how I do it. Don't type. I will give you time for typing afterwards. Okay. So what is cookie? First of all, cookie is a request header as well as response header. Every cookie will be having a name and a value, right? Okay, just see the program now. I will create an application. I will create a new project, cookie app, cookie application, cookie application. Okay, so now I want the first page to be a login page, and login page also should be generated dynamically. Means second time onwards my username and password should be automatically populated. My login page should be generated dynamically. So if I want something to be generated dynamically, I cannot use HTML page, I should use servlet. So I will write a servlet which will ask for login. I will write a servlet called login servlet. Okay, just see, don't type. New package com.accenture new servlet login servlet. I will write. The output of this servlet should be just a login page, simply. I will take the URL pattern as /login. I will take only doGet method, finish. I will remove the unnecessary things. Response.getWriter I will take. I will take it in a variable of printWriter. Out is equals to. Then out.println. See, I want to write output HTML. So what is the root tag of HTML? HTML. And after this I have to write body. See, it's always a best practice to close the tags whatever you do here. So I am just writing another out.println where I will write a closing tag for body and also closing tag for HTML. This is closing tag for body, closing tag for HTML. Now inside body I have to write a form tag. Out.println. Just copy this. Form tag. And again ending tag, ending form tag. Inform action is equals to, in single quotes I will write action is equals to, my next servlet is going to be the URL pattern. I am assuming that it will be send cookies. Then I will write out dot println username input type is equals to text, name is equals to, I'll write uname. Okay, and see here one thing, I will write string username is equals to empty, also string password is equals to empty string. For input value is equals to, if I give, that will be the one which will be displayed, right? Value is equals to value is equals to username. Value is equals to, I have to keep it in single quotes. Similarly, I will write out.println for password. Input type is equals to password and name is equals to, I will say pwd. Value is equals to, I should use password. So actually I am not initializing username and password. Initially whenever this page get displayed, it will be empty, right? If I initialize username with something, whatever username will be having, that will be displayed in the input text. Okay, now see here, I should write another out.println submit button, out.println input type is equals to submit. Oh, better to keep it in single quotes. Value is equals to login. Why did I write value here? This will be the one which will be the button name, right? Yes. A simple servlet I have written. The output, whatever I am printing, is nothing but HTML page, right? So let us see, I will just run it. It's always a better practice to divide and conquer. See, as now you are starting up your career, you will be what you will be doing is you will be doing the whole program and try to run it once. Better, I have written this, just run it and see the output first. Okay, I'll run it. So see here, I'll just right click on this login servlet, run as server. Oh, what happened? Where is my web.xml? Where is my web content? I just type br here. After input type is equals to, here br for line break. Okay, now if I refresh, I'll just restart and refresh. If I refresh, see now, I'll open in this browser. Oh, I think I gave BR in other servlet. Here I wrote it. Just copy paste again quickly. Okay, to avoid confusion, I will delete the earlier one. Now I will restart. If I refresh now, yeah, this is a simple login page. It is asking for username and password. This is a very simple program, nothing great inside it. Just writing out.println and inside out.println I am writing HTML code. Right? I told in the first day, servlet is a specification, and writing servlets is difficult because see, writing HTML like this in a servlet is very difficult. If we miss any, if I write any syntax mistake also, it will be, the output will not come as expected, right? Okay, you can feel this once I give you time for doing it. Now what I want is, once I submit it, where is it going? It is going to a servlet with URL pattern, send cookies, right? Now what I want to do is, I want to write a servlet with URL pattern, send cookies. What it should do is, it should take this request parameters uname and pwd, create cookies, then send the cookies back to the browser. Okay, I am writing another servlet now. New servlet, send cookies servlet. The URL pattern should be as I gave inside action / send cookies in small letters. Next I'll take only do get. Okay, now tell me when the request is coming here, once I submit that page, username and password. So I am expecting username and password as request parameters here. So request dot get parameter. What is the parameter name? Uname. Okay, I'll take it in string. Username is equals to. Similarly, request dot get parameter pwd or pf, yeah, pwd. So I'll take it in string, password is equals to. Now what this servlet should do, it should create cookies, add the cookie as part of response. So to create a cookie, there is a class called cookie. So to create a cookie, as I told, every cookie will be having a name and a value, and lot of other attributes also. But every cookie will have a name and a value. See how I create a cookie object, new cookie. First one is nothing but cookie name. I will say user cookie, and the value is nothing but what user has submitted, the request parameter value. Cookie user cookie is equals to. Similarly, I will create another cookie also. Pass cookie. The value is nothing but the password which the user has submitted. So these cookies, as I said, cookies are nothing but response headers. These cookies have to be added as part of response. So here the name is pass cookie, right? pwd cookie. Response dot add cookie. To add these cookies as part of response, there is a simple method. Add cookie, I will add user cookie and also password cookie.
user cookie, and also response dot add password cookie. So this will add cookies as part of response headers, right? Then I will write some output. Response.getWriter to write something. Response.getWriter, I'll get the print writer. Then out.println I'll just say simply, I'll just print something. I have sent cookies, just something, some output. The output of the servlet will be this only, but as part of response headers, cookies will be coming. According to HTTP protocol, if any HTTP client, like browser HTTP client, if any HTTP client gets cookies as part of response, what the client has to do is, it has to store those values inside a temporary location. So it will store these cookies inside some temporary location, browser. And whenever the browser is sending a request again to same server and same application, then it has to add the cookies as part of request. So now once the response comes, browser will be receiving all these cookies and browser will store these cookies inside temporary location. Now I will run it and show you what will happen. Okay, before going ahead, I will show you in Firefox. I will show you the cookies. Tools. If I go to tools, options, I will show you the existing cookies, where to check for cookies. Okay, tools, options, and privacy. Here it is showing all the cookies. These are the cookies which were already given by some sites which I visited. So I will remove all the cookies. Now with my browser, there are no cookies. All the cookies are deleted right now. Okay. Now what I will do is I will make a request to my application. I will start my application. I am going to start my application. Started. Now I am going to give a request for login page right now. See, yeah. Now tell me, is my browser having any cookies right now? No. I gave a request to my first servlet. Cookies are not there. Now what I will do is I will submit the username. Username Shiva and password I will submit as XYZ. Okay, I will submit it now. See, I got a message from the servlet. I have sent cookies. Now go to tools, options. See here, yeah. From localhost, I got some cookies. There are 2 cookies. See, pass cookie. What is the value? XYZ. And if I click on user cookie, what is the value? Shiva. Right? So now browser has received the cookies and stored in some temporary location. This is how I can see all the cookies. Okay? And see some other information cookie, as I said, cookie will be having a name and a value. It will be having some more properties also. What is the property? See, host. From which host these cookies were sent? Localhost. And inside localhost, what is the application path? /cookies. And when will it expire? At the end of session. Means once I close the browser, by default session will be ended by default. So once I close my browser, this cookie should be deleted. So cookie is having a name and a value and some other properties like host, path, and expires, right? What is the expiry time, etc. Right? So now my browser is having two cookies. What I can do is again I'll give a request to the old one. What is the first one? Login servlet, right? Without closing my browser, if I give a request to login servlet, press enter. Again will it display login page, right? So now my browser is sending a request to same host. What is the host? Localhost. To same application. What is the application name? Cookies. So according to HTTP protocol, when HTTP client is sending a request to same host, same application, and if there are any cookies for that host and application with browser, what the browser has to do? It has to add cookies as part of request headers and then send the cookie to the server, right? So once if I type enter, what the browser will do? Browser will add the cookies as part of request header and then send it, right? But no, I'm not seeing the username and password. I need to update my code. See here, once I pressed login, once I pressed it, browser is sending cookies. The request is going to what servlet? Login servlet? This servlet? Am I writing any code here to read the cookies from request? No, till now I didn't write. Now what I will do is I will write the code to read the cookies from the request. See here, whatever available, whatever the browser is sending, through which object can I access? Request object. Through request object I can access any information which the browser is sending. So simply I will say request dot get cookies. There is a method called get cookies. It is returning an object of cookie array because browser can send n number of cookies. In this case, I have browser is having two cookies: username cookie, password cookie, right? So request.get cookies will get all the cookies which the browser has sent, and we are getting an array of cookies. Cookie array cookies is equals to. Now I will iterate over it by using a loop for cookie colon cookies. This is a way to iterate over a collection or an array. We have already understood, right? So whenever it is iterating over this loop, cookie will for the first time cookie will be pointing to first element of this array. Second time cookie will be pointing to second element. So now what I want to do is I want to use if cookie dot get. See, there are a lot of getter methods. Get name. Cookie was given a name. Cookie dot get name dot equals. I want to compare if it is equals to what is it? What is the cookie name? User cookie. This is the cookie name. If it is equals to cookie, if this is the name, what I want to do is I want to store its value inside this username variable. Username. This variable is initially empty, pointing to empty string. Username is equals to cookie dot get value. Get value will give the value of the cookie. Okay. So if the cookie name is user cookie, I am initializing this username with the value of the cookie. Else, again similar if condition. Else, if cookie dot get name dot equals, what is the second cookie name? Pass cookie. Pass cookie. I should initialize password is equals to again cookie dot get value. So by the end of the loop, if I am getting any cookie, then username will be having username whatever the cookie value, password will be having that value. So here what am I doing here? See, I am outputting username, input type is equals text, name is equals to username, value is equals to username. If there is a cookie called username, then this value will be automatically populated, right? Okay. One more thing I have to do. If there are no cookies, see here I'm doing request or get cookies, right? If there are no cookies at all, this array will be null, right? So I write an if condition. If cookie is not equals to null, then only I have to go through this loop. Okay? If there are cookies, it will go and initialize username and password. If there are no cookies, username will be empty, password will be empty. So for the first time, if you are coming to this application, cookies will not be there, empty form will be displayed. If cookies are there, form will be automatically populated. Now let us see. I will run it. I will restart. See, now if I close the browser, will the cookies be deleted or not? Right now there are cookies. Right now there are cookies from localhost, right? I will close my browser. Let us see whether they will be there still or not. I am opening it again. See here, are you seeing the cookies from localhost? So by default the cookies are deleted, the cookies which I sent are deleted when the browser is closed, right? Okay, I will close it again. Now there are no cookies from localhost. Now if I type this URL, browser is not having any cookies which localhost is sent. Localhost from application cookies. In localhost application cookie did not send any cookies. Right now my browser is not having anything. So if I make a request, will the browser send any cookies? No, 0 cookies. See, as there are no cookies, the form is empty. Okay, now what I will do is I will just type something. Okay, tell me some name. Akhil. Akhil. Okay, what is the password? Kanna. Okay, now there should be cookies tool. Yeah, localhost now are having some cookies. What is the password? Kanna. What is the username? Akhil, right? Now browser is having cookies. What I will do is, without closing the browser, again I will make a request to login. Now browser will send the cookies as part of request. See, automatically Akhil and Kanna are populated. If I show you the source, view source, see, value is Akhil, here value is Kanna. So this is how even any site like Google or any application is remembering your passwords, by using cookies. To demonstrate about sessions, I take a simple example and then demonstrate what is actually a meaning of a session and how it can be managed. Okay, first I'll draw a diagram, simple diagram. See, I want the first page to ask if you have registered yourself in any of the applications like Facebook or Orkut. Whenever you are registering, it will ask for a lot of details like username, password, your details like address, phone number, email, etc., etc. Right? Now let us assume that I am developing a registration form for my website. So I have to ask a lot of details, right? So what I will do to make it very simple, my first page will be a HTML page which will ask for name. I am asking the details of a user. So first page will ask for name. Here, if this is the first page, the name of this page is ask name.html. This is HTML page. The output of this HTML page should be like this. It should ask for name. Then once I submit it, I'll say next here. Once I submit it should go to a servlet. That servlet, output of that servlet should ask for city of the user, simply. So once I submit it, it's going to a servlet. This is a servlet, and once I submit it, it's going to this servlet. This servlet's URL pattern is like this: /ask city. The output of this servlet should be like this. It should ask for city. It should ask for city, and it will have a submit button. Next. Okay, once I submit this, I want the control to go to another servlet which will ask for country details. So once I submit it, it should go to another servlet. So this is a servlet. The URL pattern of this servlet will be like this: /ask country. The output of this ask country servlet should be a page which will ask for country. So see here, once I submit it, it is going to this ask country, and the output of this ask country will be this one, right? Here also another submit button will be there. Once I submit it, I want the request to go to another servlet whose URL pattern is /display. The output of this servlet should be like this. The output of this servlet should display name, whatever has been typed earlier, name. If I type Shiva, then address, city, Bangalore, country, India. So what I want is see the concept here. Once I give a request to askName.html, browser will open socket connection. The page is sent. The connection is closed or not. See, once I type URL askName.html and press enter, browser will open socket connection. Send a request. Server will send the output HTML. Connection is closed. Internally, HTTP protocol is using TCP/IP for connections, right? TCP/IP is connection-oriented protocol or connection-less protocol. So connection will be there until response comes back. So if the browser gives a request for this page, the connection will be there until the response comes back. Once the response comes back, connection is closed. Okay, then I enter name, submit. It will go to a servlet called ask city, and ask city is giving this as output, right? Once the response comes back, when the control is here in ask city servlet, will I be able to access name here? Once I press submit, went to ask city. In this ask city servlet, will I be able to get the name? Request what? Get parameter. I'll be able to get. But once I get the output, the connection is closed, right? Server is engaging. It will forget everything. Once the connection is closed, it will forget everything. So once this page is displayed, the server will forget name whatever I have submitted. So again, if I submit city, it will go here. So here in ask country, will I be able to access city? Request or get parameter city. I'll get city. But what about name? Name already server has forgotten, right? And this is the output given. So now once you submit it, it is going to here. Here can I access country? Yes, request or get parameter country. But what about name and city in earlier request? Gajni. Forgotten. So the output of this servlet, what I want name, city, country. So until the server comes here, I want my server to somehow remember. By default, server is a Gajni, but somehow I want Gajni to remember. So I should do something else. So I should do session management if my server wants to remember name and city which is submitted here. By default, it will not remember. If I manage sessions, it will remember. Okay. So I will do this program now. Just see simply how many servlets are there? One HTML, 3 servlets, ask city servlet, ask country servlet, display servlet, 3 servlets. Quickly I will write. I will write the program, I will run it, explain you the concepts, then we will dig deep inside it and try to understand how internally Tomcat or the containers are managing sessions. Okay, now I'll just save it. I'm creating a new application. See, all of you are, I observed, okay, don't create now. Just see for some time. Creating an application session app. Okay, as I told, my first page will be HTML. As I told, ask name.html. So HTML should be created inside WebInf, correct? Outside WebInf, don't forget it. HTML. I'll create ask name.html. I'll delete unnecessary tags. To be very simple. Form. Tell me what is the action by seeing this page? Once you submit, it should go to ask city / ask city, right? So action is equals to ask city. Then it should ask for name. Input type is equals to text. Name is equals to uname, I'll say. Then BR, then submit button. Input type is equals to submit, value is equals to, I'll say next. That's all, a simple HTML page. Just see now. I need to write a servlet with URL pattern ask city. I'm creating a new servlet and the package I'm writing com.accenture. Here I will write ask city servlet. And the URL pattern I am giving as slash ask city. I'll take only do get finish. See now, by seeing this diagram, tell me here in this ask city servlet, what will be the request parameter for name? Request dot get parameter. I'll be getting a name here, right? So I will say request dot get parameter. What is the parameter name here? Uname. So here I will write request dot get parameter uname string username is equals to, right? Then what should be the output of this servlet? It should be something like this, right? It should be HTML again. We should ask for city. So I will write out.println statement which output HTML. See now how I'll write response.getWriter. First of all, response.getWriter, I'll get a print writer. Print writer out is equals to now out.println. First I'll write HTML tags, HTML body, then I will write the ending tags, then I will write the form tag, out.println form tag, form action is equals to, tell me what should be the action once I submit it. Once I submit ask city, what should be the action? Ask country. So action is equals to ask country, ending of the form tag, then I will write out.println for input. It should ask for what? City, right? Yeah, city. Input type is equals to text, name is equals to name of the input type city, and then I should write a submit button. Type is equals to submit, value is equals to next, right? So I will be getting this output, right? So once I submit it, it is going to ask country. Now I should write a similar code here, right? But now see here, once I press this, name will be coming as request parameter to ask city. Ask city is giving this as output. Once this output comes, the browser is disconnected from the server. Server will forget it's a Gajini, right? So I want the server to remember the name. So if I want the server to remember the name, I should start a session. So first I will explain you on the top how it is actually, how we write a program, then I will go into depth of it and then explain it. First, to start a session, it's very simple. You have to just say here request dot get session. It will give an object of HTTP session. HTTP session is equals to, right? So I got a session. This will start a session. What is actually meaning of starting a session and what happens when I start a session? You'll understand once I complete the program. I'll explain in step by step. Right, just as of now, understand this will start a session. So then I want this name to be remembered throughout the session. So what I should do is I should say session dot set attribute. I'll say name. The value is username. Means I am setting an attribute in session. So until the end of this flow, or until I log out, the values will be whatever I am setting as an attribute in session will be remembered on the server until I log out or end of the session. What is actually meaning of end of session? I'll tell you once I complete this program. So this statement will start a session and this will save username with this name on the session. That's all, simply. This is about the second servlet. First servlet, ask city servlet. We have done this. Then next, once I submit this, it will go to ask country. I should write this servlet, and the output of this servlet should be like this. Now I am going to write a new servlet. Ask country servlet. Next, the URL pattern should be whatever I gave, /ask country. I will take only do get finish. Okay, here I'll just copy paste this code, exactly almost same. I'll just copy paste this code. Tell me, what is the request parameter coming to ask country servlet? No, city, right? Once I submit, city is coming as request parameter. So here request get parameter city. This is city, and this is city. And here also I am getting the session and setting that attribute in session. Same. Here also I need to keep city also in session, because I want city to be remembered until the end of the session. So I have got a session and city is also set inside the same session, right? Then here, once I submit ask country, where it should go? It should go to display. So form action is equals to display. Now it should ask for country. Country type is equal to, and name is equals to. That's all. Rest all are same. So ask country servlet also is finished. So now I am going to write at last servlet display servlet. So when I will be coming here, once I submit this, I will be coming to display servlet. So this display servlet will be having one request parameter called country. Country. When I submit here, it is coming to display. Country will be the request parameter. Now I will write a servlet called display. New servlet display servlet. Next, the URL pattern I want it as /display. Next, get finish. Okay, I'll just delete everything and see now. What I have to do is I have to get the request parameter, request dot get parameter. What will be the parameter name? Tell me. Seeing this diagram for this display servlet, country will be the request parameter. Once I submit here, so country string country is equals to. Now, what should be the output of display servlet? This is the one, right? I should get all the information like name and city. Anyway, country I have now. Right? I should get name and city. Name and city are in session. Name and city are stored in session. So what I will do is I will again get a session object. Request dot get session. I will get an object of HTTP session session is equals to. Now what I will do is session dot, previously in ask city what I have done, session dot set attribute name, right? Now I should say get attribute session dot get attribute, the attribute name. Name is same like whatever I have given here, name. I will be getting that attribute, but I know that it is a string. I will typecast it to string, right? Similarly, I will write session dot get attributes, last is city. So simply now I got everything. I'll just use out.println to print everything. Response dot get writer, get print writer, then simply I'll say out.println name plus name plus br for new line, then copy paste. I'll print city and country. City okay, that's all, right? I have written everything. Now I'll just run it and show you. After that, after break, I'll explain you. Run as run on server. First I'm running the HTML page. Okay, first it's asking for name. I'll type Shiva only. Varun. Okay. Varun is from which city? Lucknow. Luck tomorrow. Not now. Luck tomorrow. Country Pakistan. Okay. So I got it displayed. Now I'll explain everything what is happening internally.